Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the 757 FC podcast. My name is John. With me once again is my co host. It's James. What's up, man?
Well, what's going on? Ready for week two?
Yeah, man. So, what I wanted to do this week is kind of recap this past week in local semi pro soccer. What matches we went to, what we saw, who played, score lines, kind of preview this weekend, and then get into an actual discussion topic. So, what did you go see this past weekend?
I had the pleasure of going to see the inaugural home match for our new Norfolk-based USLW team, Virginia Atlantic FC. They took on the Richmond Ivy. And then I also got to see directly after that VB City take on a team from Arlington. I think Arlington Rough Diamonds, which is the false equivalent of a weird British team name that we're never going to pronounce properly, but still,
We love doing that
fantastic.
stuff.
I do, man. Like, it's just why what like just name it something. Alexandria FC, call it a day.
Yeah.
No one's finding a diamond in your roughs. I promise.
It was weird
Um,
because they had Alexandria Reds and then they had Reds and Rough Diamonds. And I heard that they were owned by the same guy. I don't know. It doesn't matter. That eats up time. And that's a locale that I'm not concerned about.
it's weird. Anyway, so watching the ladies for Virginia Atlantic FC, interesting match. All things considered, the team, you can tell that they've only been playing together a few weeks, and they're trying to put it together. And there's quality, there are pieces there. There are levels to what they are putting together in Norfolk for the ladies squad. It just isn't together yet. And alternatively, Richmond Ivy is rocking a national team player. They're rocking several players that play high level Division One college ball. They they are featuring a roster, even when watered down, that still, begs to say, hey, we're one of the best in the entire league, and our aim is to win the league, not just do second or third place in our division and call it a day. So tough first half for the ladies. Kind of chased it for 45 minutes or so. And then getting into the second half, you could tell that they made some changes. They made a couple substitutions, put on some fresher legs, made a genuine effort of it. Got a goal, got a penalty kick, and final score ended up being 3-1 for the ladies. Um, Looking to see
Three to
them
one
back. I'm
for
trying to,
3-1 for Ivy,
for
right?
Richmond.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm trying to find my calendar. Ba 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 ba
Yeah.
booey
What
ba ba
what
boo.
what Richmond have going on is it's pretty high level. Like I feel like they're at a level that's a bit too high for USLW, but mm, like they're striving to get into that USL Super League, to go
Hmm.
full pro. I think that like they have the resources with the backing of the kickers, and I think they can. It's like there is no League One for women like there is for the
No.
men. I mean, there's no step in between the semi pro and the like top flight because Super is Division One, right?
In the pyramid? I
Yeah,
believe so.
yeah. So it's like we have
I'd have
two
to
Division
type it,
One
look it up.
leagues. It's wild.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, that was the women's game, and then you saw the men's game afterwards. Yeah.
Yes, and that one on the scoreboard went much better. For the first 44 minutes and 57 seconds, it made me want to throw things. Um, from the jump, earned a penalty in the second minute,
Oh wow.
clanked it off the upright.
Hmm.
Had another chance that went begging that was from inside 8 yards that I think my grandmother could have scored, and she's dead.
Hmm.
Um, then counterattack breakaway for Alexandria.
Yeah. I think I lost you there for a second.
Better than these guys, and then you turn around and you give up a goal from nothing. So
Hmm.
City spent the next 35 minutes making attempts and mockery of the ability to score a goal, and then finally got their act together right on the stroke of halftime. Popped one in the back of the net. Carson Danner finds the ball, puts it across to Gabe Zarate, falls to his feet. He dodges the defender, pops it in the back of the net. All of a sudden, you've got a tie game going into the half. And honestly, Alexandria would have felt hard done by giving up that goal, considering all they had done to keep their clean sheet. But coming out of the break, VB City changed up a couple of things, stepped on the gas pedal even more, and found their stride. And it all came together for for City and putting away a couple of goals in the second half, really bearing down on Alexandria. Almost had a couple of red cards. Um, the Alexandria players were not quite happy with the referee after they began to lose because all of a sudden they had to go from, hey, we're living comfy and cushy, to, hey, we need to speed up the process. And for a while they were okay with the referee, and then all of a sudden they weren't. Kind of typical when you get down
Yeah.
like
It's
that.
funny how
But
game management is, it's all well and good until you're the one that's behind the eight ball.
yeah. Hmm.
Hmm.
So putting away a couple goals, had another good one, the one that sealed the match. Gabe Zarate actually put forward a 90-yard assist, if you count it, considering that's how long the scoring play was, uh, to a fellow 757 player, Jaden, and he two touch put it past the goalkeeper and 3-1 City win. Good win on the bounce. That's two already for the City Boys, for the Citizens this season.
The
That's
citizens. Yeah.
kind of impressive.
Yeah. I mean, considering their
The
run and form in the
Citizens,
last
yes.
season or two, the way that they've started this season, they're off to a
Hmm.
flying start.
Yeah, and it's kind of one of those things is, their result against Grove wasn't bad either. They went up to Richmond, didn't have the best of games, lost 2-0, but still a game that you can build on instead of a game where you're sitting there holding your head in your hands going, Jesus, we suck. So it's improvement for the lads. It's momentum for them. It's a good foundation now that they can build on, and hopefully turning the tides this early in the season is going to start to produce more butts and seats. It's going to start to produce more activity and excitement around the club. And
Hmm.
hopefully, they can show off as one of the better teams in the division and make a push for the playoffs.
Yeah, I think as far as their Mid Atlantic Division and NPSL goes, right now, Virginia Dream is comfortable in that. Like, I honestly, like, I don't think that anybody takes them off there, especially ever since Annapolis left and jumped over to USL League Two. Um, Dream is now sitting pretty in that top
Sure.
spot. So really, it's going to be like, all right, who else qualifies for
Hmm.
playoffs from this division? And I think City could sneak
Right.
in there. I don't see anybody else in that division really like putting up a good, like super good fight. So it would be interesting, but yeah, like their real test is gonna be when they face off against Dream because they have been, I mean, gosh, they've been hanging up double digit scores. It's been kind of wild their start to the season.
Hmm. the other part of it is um, they're going to have to turn around and get, uh, they're going to have to win the 3 points back off of Grove on the return leg. That's going to
Right.
be the big one.
Yeah, for sure.
Because Grove is a solid outfit. And, if they can get the points back, um, and kind of put it away, then maybe, just maybe, this side can find themselves back into a bracket by the end of, I don't know what, June,
Yeah,
July.
that would
How
be
long does that
fun.
season go? They go into July, don't they?
Yeah, yeah. They run about the same exact length as the USL League Two season. Um,
Okay.
so I think it's like end of July is when the
Mhm.
playoffs go down. Um, and so also Virginia Beach United, um, the men they had like an off, like they had a bye this past weekend. I don't really know
They
how the
did.
schedule works, but they did play tonight.
They
And
did.
they were at the Sportsplex and they drew 0-0 with Northern Virginia FC, which, I guess they took a week off and then they're continuing to take a week off because there was nothing doing in that game. I don't know. I wasn't watching that stream because, of course, I was watching the Lionsbridge stream.
Sure.
Did the Virginia Beach women play this past weekend?
They did. Hold on. Let me look at my USLW.
I'm trying to remember.
I do not off the top of my head. Of course, dude, tell me that I am not the only person on the planet that hates how the USL websites scroll.
Oh yeah, that's the worst. It's like a window
It,
inside of a window.
it's so stupid, and
Yeah,
it makes me angry every
learn to
time.
code, guys. Come on. That's
Right. Like you have all this money. Like why all of a sudden can you not put
can I
together
get
a
a
product?
Squarespace ad read to just like put right in?
Absolutely, man. Good
Do you have a
goodness.
terrible interface sports league website? Use Squarespace. Use code use code 757FC
For 10% off when
for
you order. Yeah.
7.57% off.
Hey,
Um
there we go. No, their last match was on the 21st, so last
last
Wednesday
Wednesday. Yeah. And how'd that
when
go
they
again?
beat Ivy. They beat Ivy.
Oh wow, okay. Yeah,
It
that's a
was the
good result.
return leg. But see, here's the other thing too with Ivy. When they come down here, they don't bring their A squad.
Oh,
They do not. They bring their like B plus A minus squad. They do not bring their A squad.
bro, it's like an hour and a half down 64. Like what? It's not even that
Dude,
far of a trip.
you'd think that they just get 6,000 fans and just line them up down I-64 and just pass the players down and eventually they'd get
Just
here. But,
bucket brigade their starters.
uh, exactly. But yeah, their VB United ladies, they beat Ivy on last Wednesday, 2-0.
Cool.
That was the
Um
one that was the match after we did the first episode. Duh.
right. Yeah, we didn't get to talk about that one.
It's all coming back to me.
Yeah,
We did
that
because we talked about Cheyenne.
it's been a long week.
It really, dude, I'm right there with you. Oh
Yeah.
my goodness.
All right. So, speaking of winning,
Yeah, you
um,
popped up to the bridge this weekend.
yes. So, of course, we talked about a little bit on the last episode, but they were on the road last Wednesday at Patuxent Football Athletics.
Hmm.
Um, with it was a gross rainy night. They won 8-1. Two separate hat tricks in that game. Just complete lights out performance. And like I don't want to be like that guy, but
Yes, you do.
Patuxent doesn't always like put up like the best fight in the world.
No, they do not.
but it is what it is. So, and then Saturday, was it Saturday or was it Sunday? Sunday. Yes, it was Sunday night. Um, listen because I got sick right after the game. It was crazy. Like you're talking in great detail about all the players on the pitch that you watch, and I'm just like, everybody listen to what happened to me. No, but um, so yeah, we go to Town Big Stadium. We check out Lions Bridge and a friendly against Greenville United, who play in NPSL, and
Yeah.
so first half pretty uneventful. There was a right at the half was Sam Hall converted a pen, put him up 1-0, and then from there, um, you know just some good old Lions Bridge grinding to come out with a 3-0 victory there. Again, it's just a friendly, but the vibes were immaculate. Sorry. So Greenville actually had some of their supporter group come up like for a friendly. Like that was super cool, and I talked to them a little bit. Believe they were called the Greenville Buck Boys, because they're the Bucks. And,
Okay.
and yeah, like yeah, they're super cool. Brought some really loud noise. They ended up sitting right behind the Lionsbridge supporter section on the far end, behind the Overtown
Uh-huh.
Ultras. And yeah, so it was like they were directly competing with them. They brought big flags. They brought, so they went all in, and it was a great showing by the supporters for sure. And like if I'm going to applaud anybody, the away support was off the hook. And yeah, so again, like they did it's because it was Memorial Day weekend. They did the fireworks, and like the place was packed, thousands of people. Really, immaculate vibes, great family atmosphere. And so if you don't go to Lionsbridge games, go to Lionsbridge games, guys. And so again, Lionsbridge played tonight on the road midweek again. They go up to Baltimore to play Christos, which is never an easy away fixture. I think I think some of the only losses in the last couple of seasons have come from Christos away. And so you never know when they're gonna strike. But yeah, we ended up pulling that out 3-1. Again, completely like I was watching the live stream as much as I could watch because again, not everybody gets the same love in the league that we do as far as production value and all that good stuff. But yeah, pretty uneventful first half. Pretty much crickets. Like I don't know, maybe it was something about the surface. Again, it was another rainy, wet night, turf surface. It seemed really slick, kind of like bouncy almost. Like it seemed like they were playing on rubber, if that makes sense. Like it was just how the ball bounced, and I don't know, but the rain was getting all over the VO camera that was streaming and stuff. It was a whole mess. But yeah, so 3-1. The guys pulled out another win. Gabby Rodriguez on a goal. And then Dominguez on the second goal with an assist from, gosh, I keep mispronouncing his name, so I'm going to look it up because I don't want to be
Butcher it.
that guy because he is a player from Cyprus. And so I want to make sure
Oh,
that I get his
that
name.
guy.
Um, yeah. Um, Constant
Constantino?
Constantinos Christou. He's from
There you go.
Cyprus. He seems to be really involved in a lot of the plays, like one of those like unsung hero kind of guys. A lot of I foresee him getting a lot of goal contributions. Had a goal and assist on the night. I'm sure he'll pop up as a man of the match here tomorrow when they start posting all that stuff. So yeah, it has been I would say business as usual down at uh, down on the Lions Bridge. So let's look forward to this weekend. So yeah, we got this week's midweek games out of the way. So Saturday, and I know you're like you personally are in like your as far as high school ball goes, you're in your busy season, right? Because we're into postseason, and you're probably like watching a billion games. Um,
I mean, yeah, it's officially the monster has begun with tonight, and we went through the whole rigmarole of trying to figure out the rain schedule because a lot of games on grass oddly tonight. But yeah, first night already went to one penalty shootout tonight. Um, I expect a few more before the playoffs are done for me for high school. So that kicks me out of the midweek games, but definitely gonna be kicking it in for all the weekend games. And the other thing too with this weekend, um, HRSL is kicking off as well as the Virginia Sand Soccer Championships up at Buckrow. So this weekend is really weird.
Holy cow!
Um, huh?
I said, holy cow!
Oh yeah,
That's
and then
that's a lot of soccer
Wave was supposed to play, but their opponent did a dumb. So now they're finding an alternate opponent for a later date, I believe.
for which competition?
For Wave FC for the
For
APSL.
for yeah, because they're going into their tournament now, or
Yeah, that was a playoff matchup, and they technically get like a forfeit win or something.
hmm,
It was not explained to me very well.
that's not the
Um,
first time that's happened to them either.
No, it is not. So yeah, this week is preseason for HRSL
Ah,
on
okay.
the 31st. So all their preseason matchups, um, Mandem FC is playing Ole Sporting at 5. These are all at Norfolk Collegiate.
And so these are all
And
friendlies,
then
right?
technically, yes, these do
Okay,
not count towards standings.
got
And
it.
then 757 Young Boys FC is playing the People's Choice FC at 7 on field 1. Merci is playing NMA FC on field 2 as well at 7 o'clock. So
Okay.
um,
So I know
those are
we haven't talked about the Hampton Roads Soccer League much. Maybe we should talk about it next week, maybe as like a preview for the season coming up. Um,
true. And that was just more of a, hey, like all of these things are happening
right, yeah.
along with Lions Bridge and the Virginia Sand Soccer Championships. So like
Yeah.
so much soccer. And then the our WPSL2 side plays on Sunday, their first home match.
Ah, okay.
So
Yeah,
lots
so
of stuff.
as far as in the 757, Lionsbridge is the only team playing this weekend as far as our semi-pro teams. Um, the ones that I know that like we're still kind of up in the air about the WPSL two team, but
I
um,
count them.
yeah. Um, so yeah, Lionsbridge hosting Nova in Newport News Saturday night at 7. Um, again, if you're not at, Sand Soccer or anywhere else, that's kind of the place to be, in my humble opinion this week. But also,
Absolutely.
um, so Virginia Beach United actually has a men's and women's doubleheader in Charlottesville on Saturday as well at
Ooh.
5 and 7:30. Those
Ooh.
should be good tests. I know Charlottesville has only been around for one season, but they always field a good team. They always have um, it was I don't know. It's always a scrap. So they find good talent. I don't know what's in the water up there, but they're doing well.
It's UVA players.
Yeah, pretty much. Yes, it's D1 high level. Um, yeah, so it's already up at
National
UVA.
championship bound.
Right, yeah. It's up there at UVA anyway, so I'm sure that's the draw. It's like, hey, stick around for the summer,
Mhm.
huh? Kick a ball around. Um, and then Virginia Beach City is at DMV Elite for an NPSL match up there in the DMV. I didn't think the DMV stayed open on Saturday afternoon, but I'm glad. Maybe that's why it's the DMV Elite. That's like the premium
Oh,
subscription
shoot.
of the DMV. So yeah, those are this weekend's matches. Um,
Tell us how
so
you really feel, John.
I don't know, man. I'm just trying to come up with dad jokes out here. So I did have a couple people this week, kind of jump into my DMs or other socials, um, saying that, hey, I'm kind of new to the area or even new to the country. I'm new to US soccer in general. And hey, getting good information off you
Okay.
guys. Super kind words, appreciate it. So I wanted to break down because there was a lot of questions about like, hey, like, so what division is Lionsbridge in? What division is Virginia Beach United in? How does this crap
Mhm.
work? And we don't have a lot of time. but I want to the best of our ability, kind of break down in brief detail the pyramid in heavy air quotes of US soccer. Because pyramid, or ladder, as you would know in English football, is promotion or relegation, right? You go up a
Mhm.
division, you get closer to the top, you get relegated, you go down towards the bottom. Uh, Soccer in the US is kind of like, whose line is it anyway? Everything's made up and the points don't matter. Uh, you,
What a way to put it.
you get a few seasons ago, the Richmond Kickers won the regular season and got bounced in like the first round of the playoffs or something like that. And it's like, yeah, you won the league, but you didn't. Good luck next year, jerks. Like what? Like it, and that stuff drives me crazy. And we need a complete overhaul of our system. I will preface everything by saying the U.S. Soccer Federation needs to get off of their hands and start governing their sport. We need an overhaul that makes sense. The fans aren't watching the Premier League or La Liga, you know, because they, like MLS is fourth in ratings in our own country because what we have is a lot of meaningless games. We have no drama, we have no stories. Like, I feel like there would be a lot of forgiveness for the on-field quality or lack thereof if we had drama, if we had story, if we had something to tell, something to fight for, some match between like two like bottom of the East and bottom of the West teams that shouldn't be playing each other anyway, because playing East versus West in the regular season makes no sense anyway, for nothing except maybe a good draft pick, which draft in soccer makes zero sense anyway. And I'm good thing I'm wearing headphones because my brain would be leaking out of each ear right now. So it's just holding it all in because this kind of stuff just gets me heated. But anyways, I
Is this just going to be a running gag for the entire length of this podcast history of you trying to convince me we need pro rel?
okay, so I don't feel like I need to convince you. I think it's the right thing to do. I feel like pro rel is essential to the sport of soccer, like a clock that counts up to 90. Like, it is part of the sport. It is integral. It is non-negotiable. It is part of what makes this sport what it is. So, with the last 10 minutes of the pod,
Hmm.
I want to break down each division and the leagues in it. And since right now I'm beefing hard with Major League Soccer, I want you to give like a 2 minute synopsis of Top Flight MLS. They're the only Division One league. James, take it away.
Okay.
Go
Set me
for it.
up just for me to
I
knock it
believe in
down.
you. I believe
I
in
mean,
you.
it's not hard. I mean, it's just one of those things the MLS has changed incredibly over the past, I don't know, we'll call it 10 to 15 years, but in reality, it hasn't changed at all. Because for us Americans, we understand what the NFL looks like. We understand what the NBA looks like. So having an Eastern Conference and a Western Conference, is like having an Eastern Conference and a Western Conference for the NBA or for the NHL or for the AFC and the NFC for the NFL. We're not strangers to the concept. All
Yeah.
MLS has done over the course of the past 10 years is add team after team after team after team from cities that arguably didn't deserve it. Now, did St. Louis and Nashville turn out and Austin turn out to be fantastic soccer cities? Absolutely. However, did they also have to pump a crap ton of money into places like Miami and ruin their front office and hire six new coaches and bring in arguably the greatest of all time just to make that city a viable city for their particular league standings? Yes, they did. Do we like seeing teams with grassroots coaches like Philadelphia do fantastic year after year after year, only to get knocked out of MLS Cup and win nothing? No, we don't. Because honestly, if it's going to be soccer, it's got to be a point system. We operate a
Hmm.
point system all the way until the bracket starts, and then we don't really care anymore. And then you get to fire your best head coach you've ever had after 8 seasons, and then tank for a couple of seasons, and then all of a sudden you're back on top of the Eastern Conference like nothing ever happened. However, when you look at teams like dynasty teams that are having their proverbial day in the sunburn, like DC United or, oh, I don't know, the defending champion LA Galaxy, who have now won 0 games from their
Yes.
first
Yes.
15 matches.
Yes.
15 matches.
Yes. Winless in
You
15.
get a
They
league
just
that has
won
no
the
consistent.
league.
Imagine Liverpool next season going 0 and 15 to start the season.
Right. Just because they lost Trent.
It, right. Just incredibly unimaginable, but also perfectly ludicrously possible because it's the MLS. Now,
Yes.
I am wearing my MLS gear. I am a DC United fan. I have
Yeah.
been
Same.
floundering in mediocrity
Yeah.
for 2 decades, and
Yeah. I
I'm
was supposed to
done
say, we
with it.
haven't won anything in 15 years.
I don't really watch. I will turn on MLS, but I don't have Apple TV. I have no reason to
Nope.
turn it on.
Exactly. Out of sight, out of mind. It was a terrible
So
deal.
you know what? Screw it. I'll watch highlights and then hell, I have more to do with throwing a bet up on FanDuel to maybe turn $10 into 300 by picking 5 games on a Saturday night or a random Wednesday than I do to actually turn on the game and watch 90 minutes of kickball and ping pong on grass. Just thank you. So, you know, I I used to enjoy MLS. I used to really love it. And now I don't even dislike it or hate it. I just don't care.
Yeah. I mean, I'm beefing with it because they pulled out half of their teams from the US Open Cup. And I feel like the US Open Cup is the oldest, purest soccer competition in this nation's history. I mean, it's over 100 years old. It's 3 times older than freaking MLS. And the sheer hubris of Don Garber's big shiny head to think that he's better than to send his beloved franchisees out to, play some lower division team. It's a rite of passage. It's not for you; it's for them. And I think that's what they can't get across their big heads is that
But
it's for them. It's
but
not
what
for
is
you.
what is what is more American than completely abandoning all tradition that you swear up and down you love with all of your red, white, blue, star-spangled heart than to go find a new venture that
Yes.
has absolutely nothing to do with
Yep.
making America better
Yep.
again.
Yep.
And
Yep.
instead, you're gonna go do something that nobody wants, and
Yep.
everybody says out loud that they don't want it, but you're gonna
Yeah.
do it anyway because,
Nobody wanted
well,
a
it
Leagues
makes you
Cup,
money.
but since you own it, they had no problem with the U.S. Open Cup when MLS's Soccer United Marketing owned the competition. But now that the U.S. Soccer Federation owns it, It's all about that guapo, baby, and
Dollar bill,
that's all they
y'all.
want. But whatever, $500 million franchise fee, whatever. MLS can eat it. So that's Division One. That's the state of Division One. Now, USL announced that they are going to launch another Division One league. I don't know if U.S. Soccer Federation has approved it yet, but they have plans to
Right,
in 2027 or 8, I think it's 8, launch another Division 1 league, because Division 2 they have the USL Championship, which they have the championship, and then their Division 3 league is USL League 1, which follows the English Football League naming conventions. If you can follow that, you can follow USL. So for all intents and purposes, USL Championship is similar in format to MLS because it's what we know. They did announce that they are going to do promotion relegation starting with the launch of that third Division 1 league,
right.
which is great. I think it's great. However, promotion and relegation within a closed system is still a closed system. It's not true promotion relegation unless the U.S. Soccer Federation gets off their butts and says, nah, you guys are going to do pro rel. And I don't see how that works within a franchise thing, because technically MLS owns whatever. I don't even want to get into those weeds. But USL Championship is kind of the same. It just has that closer to grassroots feel. Dropping down to Division 3, because we really only got like 2 minutes left. USL League One has, again, even more of a grassroots feel. They're adding more teams. Our Richmond Kickers play there, our beloved Ruse, and they're a stalwart. They're the 1995 U.S. Open Cup champion Richmond Kickers, and we love them for it in their big baggy Arby's sponsored kit.
You cropped. You
Yes,
cropped.
yes. And they certainly had the meats back then. But also in the third division is MLS Next Pro, which is MLS's kind of reserve league slash like answer to the USL system.
Uh-huh.
And again, like, it's every move MLS makes is just kind of to undermine their competition. Instead of bolster the sport, they want to kill competition. And in the business, we call that monopoly. Anyways, so that is division. That's the top 3 divisions. Technically, there are only 3 divisions in professional soccer. Everything below that is amateur. And so we talked about all these last week. That's when you get into USL League 2, NPSL, UPSL, APSL is more regional, that kind of stuff. So that is kind of how it goes. So anyways, I'm going to wrap it up here. Yeah, find us on the socials, man. Keep hitting us up. If you want to hear about something, let us know. It's been fun chatting with you, James. Yeah, man, have a good one. We will reconvene next week.
Yeah, I'm excited. It's going to be a good time for all the different things. I will see you probably Saturday night after sand soccer at Lionsbridge.
Cool. Sounds good. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Subscribe, like the video, and comment. Peace. See you later.
Deuces.